At my divorce hearing? He laughed, taking everything. My home, my savings, my dignity. Then my 7-year-old daughter played a recording, and the entire courtroom fell silent. It all started on what should have been our 10th anniversary. I'd planned a surprise dinner, his favorite meal simmering on the stove. But Mark came home late, smelling of a perfume I didn't own. He didn't even notice the decorations. He just tossed his keys on the table and announced he wanted a divorce. My world shattered in that instant. I asked, "Why?" my voice trembling. He was cold, distant. "I just don't love you anymore, Sarah. It's over." He packed a bag and left, leaving me alone in a house that suddenly felt cold and empty. The days that followed were a blur of tears and sleepless nights. My biggest worry was our daughter, Lily. How could I explain this to her? She was my everything, my reason for breathing. I tried to shield her, putting on a brave face. But kids are perceptive. She saw the sadness in my eyes. One evening, she crawled into my lap with her favorite stuffed bear and whispered, "Don't worry, Mommy. I'll protect you." Her words were a tiny life raft in my ocean of despair. Then came the legal battle. Mark, a successful businessman, hired the most ruthless lawyer in town. They painted me as an unfit mother, a gold. They claimed I was unstable. Every accusation was a dagger to my heart. My lawyer, a kind but overworked public defender, warned me it would be tough. Mark's influence ran deep in our small town. He was twisting our shared history into a weapon against me. I felt helpless, watching the life I'd built being systematically dismantled. The preliminary hearings were brutal. Mark's lawyer presented fabricated evidence, edited texts, misleading financial statements, all designed to make me look bad. Mark sat there, smirking, enjoying my humiliation. He was a different person from the man I had married. This version of him was cruel, a stranger with my husband's face. I started to lose hope. It felt like the whole world was siding with him, believing his lies. I spent my nights poring over documents, trying to find anything to prove my case. But it all seemed so hopeless. One rainy afternoon, I was cleaning Lily's room, trying to find some semblance of normalcy. I picked up her toy tablet, a gift from Mark for her last birthday. I was about to put it away when I noticed the recording app was open. Curious, I tapped on the most recent file, and that's when I heard it. It was Mark's voice, smooth and confident. He was talking to someone, his mistress. He was laughing about how he was going to take everything from me, how he'd set it up perfectly so he'd get full custody of Lily and I'd be left with nothing. He even bragged about hiding his assets, ensuring I wouldn't get a single penny. The recording went on, detailing his entire deceitful plan. My hands shook as I listened. It was all there, the proof, the undeniable truth. But my heart broke for another reason. Lily must have recorded this. My sweet, innocent 7-year-old had been caught in the middle of this ugliness. She must have overheard him and, in her own way, tried to protect me just like she promised. Tears streamed down my face, stares of anger, of relief, but mostly of overwhelming love for my daughter. She was my little hero. I saved the file to a secure drive, my mind racing. This changed everything. The day of the final hearing arrived. The courtroom was tense. Mark sat confidently beside his lawyer, occasionally glancing at me with a look of pure contempt. His lawyer delivered a closing statement that painted me as a monster. I felt my spirit crumbling. When it was my turn, my lawyer presented our case, but it felt weak against their mountain of lies. The judge looked weary, ready to make a decision. I could see the sympathy, but also the resignation in her eyes. It seemed Mark was going to win. Just as the judge was about to deliver her verdict, I stood up. My lawyer looked at me, alarmed, but I had to do this. "Your Honor," I said, my voice shaking but clear, "I have one final piece of evidence." The judge looked annoyed but granted me permission. Mark scoffed, whispering something to his lawyer. I turned to my daughter, who was sitting quietly in the back with my sister. "Lily, sweetie," I said gently, "do you have something you want to show the judge?" Lily, clutching her little teddy bear, walked bravely toward the bench. In the bear's pocket was a small, pink MP3 player. She handed it to the bailiff, who passed it to the judge. "My mommy is a good mommy," she said in her small voice. "Daddy is a liar." The judge put on the headphones. The courtroom was silent, the only sound the ticking of the clock on the wall. Mark's face went from smugged to confused, then to pale, sheer panic. He knew. As the judge listened, her expression shifted from skepticism to shock, then to undisguised fury. She took off the headphones and glared at Mark, her eyes like ice. "Mr. Miller," she said, her voice dangerously low, "you have some explaining to do." She ordered the recording to be played for the entire court. Mark's arrogant voice filled the room, bragging about his affair, his hidden assets, and his plan to destroy me. The mistress's voice was there too, laughing along with him. Gasps echoed through the gallery. Mark's lawyer was speechless. Mark himself looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him whole. When the recording finished, a heavy silence hung in the air. The judge's verdict was swift and severe. Not only did I get full custody of Lily, but the house, the car, and a significant portion of the assets Mark had tried so hard to hide were awarded to me. Mark was found in contempt of court and faced charges of perjury and fraud. His reputation was ruined. His business partners started pulling out, and his perfect life imploded in a matter of minutes. As he was escorted out of the courtroom, he looked at me, his eyes filled with a hatred I'd never seen before. But I just held my daughter's hand, feeling nothing but relief. Walking out of the courthouse and into the sunshine, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in months. Lily squeezed my hand and looked up at me with a bright smile. We started our new life, just the two of us. It wasn't always easy, but we had each other. We turned our house into a real home again, filled with laughter and love. I went back to school and became a paralegal, inspired to help others who felt as hopeless as I once did.